We, male 34 and female 31, have been together for 4 years, married for 2, and we have 2 dogs together. Things have been mostly good, or at least that was the impression I was under. Over the last few months, I started noticing small things, subtle shifts in behavior that I brushed off as normal. After all, the honeymoon period was bound to end sometime. We were arguing more, disagreeing on little things, and she seemed moodier. I thought maybe it was just a phase. What tipped me off was a phone call she received recently. It felt off, like she didn't want me to know who was calling. She went outside to answer, and I secretly watched her through the blinds. Her body language, the way she was whispering, it all screamed that this was not a call I was supposed to know about. I made a mental note, and I told myself I'd revisit it if anything else seemed suspicious. Later that night, while she was asleep, I went through her phone. The call she got was from someone named Alicia, a name I've never heard before. I searched through her WhatsApp and Messenger, but found nothing. Then I saw Snapchat, but it was locked. I couldn't open it, which raised my suspicion even more. I decided to call the number listed under Alicia. A man answered. I hung up because at that moment, I knew my problem wasn't with him. It was with her. I woke her up and confronted her. I gave her a chance to tell me the truth on her own right. She didn't. So I told her that I knew. Eventually, she admitted it was a guy from work, someone she just enjoyed hanging out with. She tried to play it off, saying they were just friends, that there was nothing else going on. But I knew there was more. Why the secrecy if it was nothing? I told her I didn't buy it, and she could tell I was done with the half-truths. The next day, I called a divorce lawyer because I felt like I had to do something or I'd go crazy. I didn't even know if I wanted a divorce at that time. I just felt like I needed to protect myself, to know what I could do if it came to that. When I told her about speaking with a lawyer, she broke down, sobbing uncontrollably. She finally admitted that they'd hooked up just once. Right. She's been remorseful since then, telling me over and over how much she wants to save our marriage. She's proposed quitting her job, has blocked him everywhere, and has done everything she can think of to show me she's committed. But I'm struggling to move past it. She says it was just a rough time, that she was questioning our marriage, but I can't make sense of that. If she was questioning our relationship so early in our marriage, why didn't she come to me? What does that even mean for us in the long term? Why did she turn to someone else? I feel like my self-worth is in the trash, my confidence shattered. I don't know what to do next. Part of me wants to believe her, to try to rebuild what we had. The other part of me can't get past the betrayal, the lies, and the secrecy. I don't know how to trust her again, or if that's even possible. She says she'll do anything to make it right, but I don't know if there's anything that can undo this kind of hurt. Any advice would be appreciated. Update. I haven't been doing good over the last few weeks. Soon after my first post, I made the decision to move forward with the divorce and focus on healing myself. I just can't see my life being any better by staying with her. There's no excuse for what she did. I can't see a future with her anymore, and I can't ever trust her again. The more I think about it, the more I have reasonable doubt that this was even the first time. I keep thinking back to instances since before our marriage, about certain incidents that made me uncomfortable, but I never took more notice of, and I feel like I'm gonna go crazy. I haven't found out how long the affair lasted, and honestly, I don't care. I doubt they only hooked up once like she says, and again, I don't care. It's over. She's fucked me over. What matters to me now is moving on. My family's been there for me through all this, and I feel lucky to have their support. Thankfully, we can make a clean break since we don't have kids nor mortgage. That's probably the only good thing about this whole situation. I've already served her the divorce papers, and she's been a complete mess since then. She's trying to convince me that we can work through this, that I should give her another chance because what we have is worth fighting for. She says everyone makes mistakes and that she's willing to do whatever it takes to make things right. But for me, that's just not enough. I can't pretend like things will ever be the same again. I deserve better, and I know that. I'm choosing myself, my peace of mind, and my future, one without her lies and betrayal. Advice? Story 2. Found out that my partner of 5 years has been having an affair for almost our entire relationship. She's cheated in person with at least 3 or 4 different men. Most of the physical stuff happened prior to this year, but she maintained contact with some of them and sent a lot of nudes to various men over the years, in addition to her 3 main affair partners. On top of all that, she also confessed to having sex with a mutual friend, a woman. That revelation broke me in a way I can't fully describe. because it felt like a betrayal on another level. I always thought we were honest with each other, especially when it came to friends we both knew and trusted. Now we're 2 months out from our second D-Day, when she partly came clean about everything. For months, she trickle-truthed me real hard, giving me bits and pieces of truth while I felt like I was losing my mind trying to piece everything together. It's been hell, and it's still hard to wrap my head around the fact that the person I trusted the most was capable of doing all this. But now, after everything, I think she's finally being honest. The thing is, even though I think she's telling me the truth now, I just don't feel the magic anymore. I think I still love her, but sometimes I'm not even sure about that. I look at her and see someone I know so well, someone I shared so many amazing moments with, but I also see someone who lied to me over and over again. I want to feel the way I used to, but it's like a switch has been flipped in my brain, and I can't find a way to flip it back. Does it ever come back? I'm heartbroken about the cheating. I wish I could just force myself to feel the way I used to see her the way I did before all this happened. I want to believe that it's possible, but right now, it just feels so out of reach. I was on the verge of proposing to her before I found out about the affairs. I thought we were in a good place. I thought we were building a future together, and now I don't even know if we have one. Learning that she's almost never been faithful has changed me. I don't see relationships the same way anymore. It's hard for me to trust anyone, and I hate that. I never wanted to be the person who was suspicious, who needed constant reassurance. But here I am. I've been trying to work through it. We've both been in therapy, both individually and as a couple. She's been doing everything she can to make amends. She quit her job to get away from one of the affair partners, blocked all of the men she was involved with, and has been transparent about her phone and social media. But despite all that, I still can't shake the feeling that this isn't over, that she'll cheat again someday. We're currently separated, but she insists on working things out, and part of me wants to see if there's still a chance. I want to believe it's possible to regain at least some of what we had, but it's so hard sometimes. I miss feeling like I was her one and only. I miss the days when I didn't have to wonder who else was in her life, when I could just trust that she was as committed to me as I was to her. I know we had our problems, like any couple does, but I thought we were madly in love. We were utterly inseparable, and it breaks my heart to think while I was feeling that way, she was out there giving pieces of herself to other people. It's the loss of that connection, the loss of that sense of being truly special to someone, that hurts the most. I feel like I'm grieving the relationship we had, and I'm scared that I'll never feel the same way about her again, or anyone else for that matter. I don't think she's cheating anymore, but the fear that she could do it again is always there, lurking in the back of my mind. I've tried to push those thoughts away, to remind myself that she's trying her best now, but it's hard to believe that she won't slip up again, especially given how long this has been going on. I guess I'm just looking for hope. Has anyone here ever been through something like this? Were you able to rediscover the magic, to find a way back to what you once had? I know it'll never be exactly the same, but is it possible to feel close again? To trust again? Right now, I feel like I'm living in a constant state of doubt. Doubt about her, doubt about us, doubt about myself. I used to be so sure of our future, and now I can't even see a clear path forward. I know that everyone's journey is different, and I'm not expecting a perfect answer. I just want to know if it's possible. I don't want to give up on us if there's still hope, but I also don't want to keep putting myself through this if it's only going to lead to more pain. I'm torn between wanting to fight for what we had and wanting to walk away to protect myself from any more heartbreak. I wish I could find a way to let go of the past, but it's always there, weighing on me, reminding me of how much has changed. Any advice, any stories of hope would mean the world to me right now. I want to believe that love can survive this, but it's so hard to hold on to that belief when everything feels so broken.